Hi guys, welcome again to my channel. My name is Matilda. If today is your first time visiting my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to cut and sew this beautiful ruched bubu dress. If this is something you are interested in, keep on watching and click on the subscribe button. Without wasting much time, let's get started. So guys, these are the things I'll be needing for this tutorial. I'll be needing a 2 yards fabric of satin, my tape measure, my curved ruler, my straight ruler, and my chalk. My satin has been folded into 4, and please leave like 1 inch allowance on the front piece. So I am going to mark a straight line to serve as our starting line. On that line, I am going to come down by 8 inches for the around sleeve, and I'm going to mark a straight line across. From the starting line again, I am coming down by 15 inches for the waist and mark a line across as well. From the waist, I am coming down by 8.5 for the hip measurement and also mark a line across. From the shoulder line, I am marking 39 inches for the dress length. The actual dress length is 37, but I added 2 inches for stitching allowance, and I am going to mark a straight line across as well. So we have the shoulder line, the around arm, the waistline, the hip line, and the dress length. In this tutorial, we are not making use of the waist measurement. We would just use the hip, but I marked it as a guideline, and we have our 1 inch allowance at the front here. So on the shoulder line, I am going to mark half of the shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, and I am going to mark my sleeve length attached to the around shoulder measurement. Don't forget, it's a kimono bubu dress. From the front here, I am going to mark my neck width, which is 3 inches, and 3 inches again for the neck depth, and I will use my curved ruler to draw my neckline. I am coming down here by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and connect to meet the neck width like this. Now on this line, I will mark 1/4 of my bust measurement, which is 8.5, and add 4 inches for allowance. Remember, this dress is very loose, so I added more allowance for us to get enough ease or space. On the waistline, mark 1/4 of your waist measurement and add 4 inches for allowance. Like I said, I won't be using the waist measurement. On the hip line, I will mark 1/4 of my hip measurement, which is 9.5, and add my 4 inches allowance. On the dress length, I will mark what I have on the hip line. I will measure what I have on the hip line and mark the same thing on the dress length. I will then connect the line from the dress length to meet the point on the hip line like this. Because I am not making use of the waist measurement, I will use the hip measurement to mark all the way to meet the waistline. On the around sleeve line, I will come out from the end by 1 inch, and I will just use my curved ruler to draw a curve like this because it's a kimono sleeve. I hope you are following what I am doing. So this is how our curve is looking. So beautiful. I am going to extend my sleeve length to meet the end and draw a straight line to meet this line here. This is what we have after drafting, and I hope you also have the same thing. So I am going to cut this out. When you get to the curved part, take your time to cut it carefully. I am marking my 1 inch allowance on the front dress. Take your time and trace it out very properly so that it looks nice and you get the accurate line. Now, because our front neckline is a V-shaped neckline, I will come down by 7 inches and I will just connect from the neck width to meet this point here, and then we cut it out. So this is what we have. The piece on the front is the back, and the one with the V neckline is the front of the dress. So now I will go ahead to the sewing machine and sew on the line I traced here. I am using my chalk to deepen the line so that we can see it very clearly. So on that line, I'm just going to sew on it. At this point, I am cutting a bias strip. Okay, that is what we will use to turn. We used to sew the neck and turn because we are not making use of lining, so that our neckline will be very neat. Okay, I will head over to my machine and sew the neckline and turn. Okay, I will come and show you how it looks like after I am done sewing. This is after I was done sewing the neckline, and you can see how beautiful this is looking. Okay, so the allowance we left on the front piece, I will go ahead and fold it in like 1/2 an inch on both sides. Okay, and then we make a stitch on it very neatly. Okay, we sew on it on both sides. Okay, so let's head over to the machine and sew on it. I will place my back piece on the front piece and go ahead to the sewing machine and sew the shoulder line by 1/2 an inch. Okay, this is a simple dress. We can just use 2 hours to make it. So let's just go ahead and sew the shoulder line. This is after I was done sewing. Now I am going to sew the hem of my sleeve and turn with a bias strip. I am doing this on both sleeves. Okay, so I will go ahead to my sewing machine and sew it very nicely. This is how beautiful it came out after I was done sewing. I will fold in that 2 inches allowance I left on the hem of the dress. I will fold in by 1 inch and stitch on it. I will do that on the front and the back piece of this dress, so you can also do the same thing. Okay, just to make the hem of the dress look very nice. And this is what we have after I was done, and it's looking so beautiful. Okay, so we will go ahead and sew all the way from the armhole down to the hem of the dress, and sew the same thing on the other side as well. We sew it by 1/2 an inch or 1 inch. Cut out 2 inches width and 5 inches longer than the dress length of a bias strip. Okay, this is what we will fix in the holes in front of the dress. Okay, so we will fold it in like this. You fold half on both sides in and fold it on it like this. We will head to the machine and sew on it. We will make a stitch on it. We will be doing 2 of this strip. This is our rope. These are the ropes we are fixing in the holes. So I am going to make a small hole here that will help us to put the rope in this hole. So I am fixing in the ropes. Do the same thing for the other one as well. I tied the rope on a broom strand and pushed it in very slowly so that the broom doesn't remove from the rope. If you have a way of doing it, you can also use your method. It will also work. This is after I pushed all the ropes in. I will go ahead to my machine and secure this place very tight so that the ropes doesn't pull off. Basically, this is all for this tutorial. You can push your fabric up like this and tie it up here. You can also leave it like that if you want to wear it without this front effect. So this is how our dress is looking. So beautiful. And like I said, this is a very simple dress. You can use just like 2 hours, even 1 hour to cut and sew this. Okay, thank you very much, and if this YouTube was very useful to you, please press on the subscribe button and please press on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you very much and see you in my next video. Bye.